Recently, Parlo was banned from YouTube forever. Parlo's also been making disturbing hints about him resetting his character. There's no time to waste, there's a whole lot to cover, so let's get right into it. For those of you who don't know what happened, I'm gonna try my best to simplify the whole situation, from the start to where it's at right now. A couple months ago, Parlo's channel was locked down because he had gotten multiple strikes. He took every single video down because he was at risk of termination. Because he was getting a lot of views and YouTube was his main source of income, Parlo opened a GoFundMe that he explicitly said would help with rent and food. He posted a goodbye video announcing a break and announcing the GoFundMe. In the video, he made it sound like he was desperate, starving, struggling. But boy oh boy, what was exposed that week was crazy. Because only a few days later, he's seen making massive purchases, £1,000, £500. For those of you in the US, instead of dollars, it's pounds in the UK. Those aren't purchases from somebody who's starving. Those are purchases from somebody who's financially comfortable. Parlo's tried to defend this by saying that none of the money he made from the GoFundMe was used for these purchases. But that does not matter. When you tell the people that look up to you as a hero that you're struggling and they help you out, just for you to basically spit on their face and spend $1,000 on BS, that is outright scamming. Now anyways, one of the purchases he made has a massive rabbit hole we're gonna get into right now. Parlo had spent $1,400 to fly out a YouTuber named Internet Adjacent from the US to the UK. They were in some sort of situation. I don't know if they were dating or what it was. And yes, they are gay. I'm not gonna judge them for that. But like, as I said in the last video, like $1,400 for gay that's just crazy to me. Anyways, they engage in their activities and whatnot. I'm not gonna get into the details. But then after that, Parlo accused Internet Adjacent of SA. Very serious allegation, okay? Also very suspicious because messages came out showing that Parlo and Internet Adjacent had a very consensual relationship. They gave each other the same energy. It doesn't make sense, you know, you message each other very freaky things. You spent $1,000 to meet up, to do the activities that y'all talked about over text, and now SA happened? Like what? I mean, like, guys, they were in the shower together, okay? They talked about this. We're gonna go over that in just a second, but now anyways, Parlo was looking to get Internet Adjacent exposed for this. Also, just to clarify, Internet Adjacent is also known as Wolfgang, so you're not confused when you're listening to the context. Parlo had reached out to Guamo to make a video on Internet Adjacent. Parlo also dropped a Google document to expose him, but this is where things get bad fast. The document contained very disgusting, weird details about Parlo's life. Keep in mind, the document was his, alright? So he's basically sharing his life with his audience. That very audience comes from the game Roblox, bro. It was honestly very disgusting and disturbing. One of the details talked about, oh my gosh, a purple glittery that he called Cinderella. Now obviously Parlo got a lot of backlash because of this and also the other things as well. Roblox YouTuber Guamo made a massive video on the situation expressing his disgust. In the video, Guamo also talked about how Parlo, whenever Guamo denied making a video on Internet Adjacent for Parlo had lashed out on Guamo, calling him all types of crazy things, just basically crashing out on his own homie. Parlo was using Guamo, especially when you consider the fact that over the past year, Guamo made 7 videos in defense of Parlo for other allegations. Also, another thing to mention real quickly, whenever Parlo announced that he was struggling and he made the GoFundMe, Guamo was literally under the belief that his friend was struggling for real. So Guamo hired Parlo to work for his channel. He did a lot more to help Parlo during the situation. Everything I've talked about alone shows that Parlo cannot be trusted at all. I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a situation where me and Guamo had drama with Ducky. We're all cool now, so no worries about that. But it turned out Parlo was instigating that drama between Guamo and Ducky the whole time. He'd be in both of their DMs just saying things about both of them, basically gossiping in private to them. I won't go too deep into that. I'm trying to summarize it so I can get onto the stuff that happened recently with the whole ban and the threats that Parlo made. But yeah, that's the situation that started all of this, okay? Now obviously Parlo has been facing a whole lot of backlash from the whole Roblox community. I could be completely wrong on what I'm about to say. It's a complete rough estimate, but I believe Parlo lost damn near 20,000 subscribers. I unfortunately can't check the stats now because he's obviously banned, but the reasoning as to why he got banned is actually crazy. Parlo had an individual named Mugen running his channel as a manager. Certain circumstances prevented Parlo from being able to remove Mugen's manager access, and the whole internet, me included, was rooting for Parlo to just get the hell out of the internet. It's clearly not for Parlo anymore, for the sake of what happened and for the sake of his health. but the way Mugen went about it, I'm gonna be honest, it is kinda crazy. Mugen posted an unlisted video, and in that video, it was P-Hub. Obviously, you can't post P-Hub content on YouTube, so Parlo's channel was immediately banned from YouTube. Mugen went the extra step to really make sure that Parlo didn't come back and actually went outside, away from the internet, to take care of himself for once. Here's Parlo addressing what Mugen did, alright? I'm gonna leave the screenshot on the screen for a few seconds and then I'm gonna keep talking. Now, something we all didn't expect was what Parlo would do after this. In Guamo's most recent video, he addressed what Parlo did. Parlo and Guamo got in a call where Parlo was literally going crazy. Guamo says he heard Parlo say things he never heard Parlo say before. Basically, Parlo was brainstorming ideas to reset his character, basically. I can't really say what he was actually brainstorming, but it doesn't end there, unfortunately. After that call, Parlo went on a live stream hosted by a YouTuber named Dickers. He then says a crazy statement. I'm gonna play the clip for you guys, okay? I can't really find it anywhere else, so I'm just gonna play it from Guamo's video.
Oh, I lost everything. I mean, my channel was gone.
You know that I'm on live right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure you're not gonna say anything crazy right now. What about your second channel?
It's done.
That's done as well?
No, like, it's done. Like, not even thinking about that. It's done.
You're gonna just move away from YouTube entirely? Yeah, probably say, just probably think on this.
I'm not leaving anything. I was gonna make the response video, leave and come back. Now, I've seen that that is impossible, and can't say, but a lot of people have on their hands now, but yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna have to say goodbye. I'll chat to you later. Okay, have a good one. Okay. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about that. What I believe needs to happen is whoever knows him in real life, whoever knows him personally, needs to get him checked out, genuinely. I genuinely don't think that nothing being done is even safe for him. But yeah, we're gonna move on from that, okay? That's crazy. So as you've seen from the clip, Parlo had intended on making a response to the whole situation. Let's talk about what his response would be. Guamo mostly covered this, so let's talk about some of the points there. And I'll correlate his points with the points that I brought up whenever Parlo had made a stage in his server to respond. I'll also be showing some footage of the stage in a couple minutes. So, Guamo says that within Parlo's response document, he spoke way too much about the whole predator word being thrown around. To set the record straight, Parlo is not a predator, but I'm not gonna lie, Parlo, you're a commentary YouTuber who exposes predators. There's gonna be those people who give you death threats. That's the damn internet for ya. Regardless of if you're getting exposed or not, that's gonna happen. Hate's gonna be spread. And I can testify that during Parlo's stage, he kept deflecting from the points that people were mad about and pointing out random people in the chat like, oh my gosh, this random person called me a predator. Oh my gosh, this random guy in Guamo's Discord server told me to KYS. It's like, dude, focus on the damn point. You know what I'm saying? Now anyways, here's where he defends the whole predator thing. Wolfgang was 21 years old, born on March 31st, 2004. Before engaging with him, I made sure to ID verify and confirm that he was above the age of 18. He is 11 months older than me, while I am 20 myself. This case is not PDF Elia whatsoever. It is, however, understandably degenerate. This situation is absolutely criticizable, but this situation has nothing to do with predator allegations, and this is something that Guamo himself has made clear numerous times, and this was never once alleged in his video. In one of the next points, Parlo says, now, over the course of the past week, an extremely personal and private situation has been revealed to the public. So okay, hold on, let's pause right there. Parlo, you wanted it public, okay? You reached out to Guamo to make a whole video. It would have got hundreds of thousands of views. You knew that. You also made a whole document intended to expose internet adjacent. I mean, look at this other screenshot where Parlo says, I however expressly wanted this to not become a public spectacle. I can't read this right now, but you did, Parlo, okay? You literally did. If you wanted those details private, you wouldn't have put them in the document. You wouldn't have told us about your damn Cinderella. You wouldn't have even showed us your messages with internet adjacent. I'll tell y'all right now, I've seen a lot of disgusting things in my life, but That was genuinely disturbing, what I had read in that document. I mean, like, your intention is to expose internet adjacent, but you're practically exposing yourself. Like, what the hell? Hey world, meet my Cinderella. That's the document for you, bro. Parlo talks a lot about how he's holding himself accountable. He even tries to criticize some of his actions, but then he downplays them as well, which confuses me. Are you taking accountability or are you trying to excuse your actions? So I genuinely don't have a clear answer as to what his intentions are at this point. I'm not gonna accuse him of sympathy baiting based off of his recent threats, but based off the downplaying and the deflection, I will call that out. You know, you constantly talk about random people calling you a predator, and you constantly try to excuse the whole GoFundMe situation. I know Parlo has taken steps to refund the people who paid him at the GoFundMe, and that's good, but you can't just magically erase what you already did. I wholeheartedly believe you don't deserve a platform anymore. You guys know how much happiness Parlo's platform brings him, so I genuinely don't understand why Parlo would do that to his own fans that bring him that happiness, bro. Alright you guys, I just had to take a call, so I don't even know which part of the video I'm at. I think I was talking about the scam and the stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is now give an analysis about the whole Cinderella situation. Now Parlo, your friends didn't want to know those details. Your fans didn't want to know those details. Nobody needed to know that. Okay, I just don't understand what makes you think it's okay to do that. And then you go into detail about, so when I did insert it, it did hurt. I was quite uncomfortable in his British accent. Before we get on to more of the highlights from the stage debate that Guamo and Parlo had, I'm gonna emphasize what I said earlier, okay? Parlo needs help. Mental health is no joke, alright? I'm taking that genuinely serious. So should everybody who's watching this video. You come before anything else. Alright, especially Roblox drama, dude. Now, what would I do if I was in Parlo's shoes? Now, firstly, I would never be in Parlo's shoes. I would never do what he did. But if I was and I had to decide, like, how am I gonna respond to the situation? What can I do? Firstly, take some damn accountability for everything. Own up. If you want to call people out for calling you a predator, do that after you take accountability. Based off how unwell you are, talk to somebody in real life that you love and trust dearly. And I ain't gonna lie, Parlo. Listen, I know you said that I'm gonna take a long break and then come back. Don't come back, okay? Because this, I'm not gonna lie, it's unredeemable. But Epic M1, what else could I do other than YouTube? I don't know, figure that out on your own, bruh. Enough yapping from Epic M1, here's some more highlights that I didn't put in the last video.
It genuinely, fundamentally is not scamming. Scamming is a malicious practice where you misappropriate funds in order to screw over people. I wasn't doing that. I did a really stupid, let's not be bad faith here. I did a really stupid thing, which was buying that plane ticket. That exacerbated my financial decision and made it 10 times worse. The money which I got from that GoFundMe was given and put into uni expenses and food, which is what was advertised on the thing. And regardless, I have taken steps to now give the money back. I don't understand how this remains a point of contention, because people weren't even saying that it was scamming anymore. They were making the argument that it was deceptive. To some degree, to them, it could be deceptive. But to my degree, I didn't know that all my past financial history would be brought up for making this GoFundMe.
You're saying past as if you started the GoFundMe after you already paid for the tickets.
The GoFundMe was created. You need to do action in order to transfer the money. I didn't do that until after both the tickets and the laptop were purchased. So therefore the money was then transferred into my account, and therefore the money was then used on food. Because I was down, what, 4,500?
Again, you're kind of skipping the main point here. Let me ask you a question. Let's say, for example, who's a YouTuber you like?
None.
Okay, I don't give a... let's say your friend was having a situation where, let's say he's being sued, and he makes a GoFundMe saying that he needs to save up money to do this, to do that, to fight this whatever it may be in court. And you want to donate him, let's say $100, because I've seen some people donate to you $100 on that GoFundMe. And then it comes out that person, after he made the GoFundMe, about a week later, he flew out, went to have a Diddy party. He went to a Diddy party using those funds. He spent $1,000 to fly it to a Diddy party. What would you do? How would you feel? Would you feel
use those funds to go to a Diddy party where he kids?
Okay, you're just changing the whole story. I just say he goes to a Diddy party. He has gay, let's say.
If you use the funds to do that,
Yeah, if you spend $1,000, if he was donated, let's say $500 as an example.
Yeah, if
and
he was donated money and used that money to do something that he wasn't like advertised to like appropriate, then yeah.
He started this hypothetical individual started a GoFundMe about a week before flying out. So he started GoFundMe a week ago. Let's say today he flew out for gay. How would you feel about that?
Are we saying that like he linked his account to his?
Hey, let's drop the hypothetical. Okay, if you were a person, if it wasn't your GoFundMe and if it wasn't you who went out for gay, how would you feel if you were the person who donated money to you?
You do realize GoFundMe has a policy where you have to link that to your account in order to transfer the money. Are we saying that after that happened, the funds were then appropriated to that? Or are we talking about the money was just locked on that GoFundMe and he spent his own money to do that?
Am I saying this question poorly or something?
No, because here's the thing with GoFundMe. I don't think you've had a GoFundMe before. Your GoFundMe money remains in that until you transfer it to your account. Are we talking about the fact that they have the GoFundMe, the money is trapped on that, not verified, and it has not been transferred, and they've spent their own money to do that? It doesn't
matter when the money came into your bank account. What matters is that you started a GoFundMe asking people for money for legal and then a week later you started flying out people for gay. That's the issue. I don't understand what was so complicated about my question. I mean, how would you feel if you donated to yourself?
Well, I would feel discouraged from wanting to donate again. Not appreciative at all. Would be pissed.
Okay. You had absolutely no bias. You'd say you were scammed.
I wouldn't say I was scammed, but I would be asking for my money back pretty much, which is what I did in the end of the day.
Okay.
Because regardless of if it was scamming or not, I do believe to some partial point that it was, I wasn't transparent and it was partially deceptive in the sense that I didn't bring up my past history. I should have done that. It looks on a piece of paper because I didn't talk about how the fact that I spent my money on a laptop, on a phone, on a plane ticket. I never made it clear that I was broke, but I understood how people would derive that from it. Because it was right after a situation to do with an arrest. I showed pictures of antidepressants, which I had and stuff like that. And to some people, that may seem like a call for help, like I'm homeless, and this, that, and the other. And while that did happen after, at the time, it was incredibly to have spent a plane ticket. I mean, I myself agree that the audacity of it is stupid, so I refunded the back. I was told by people, there's no point in refunding because the damage is done, but that's not true at all. If one person wants to prove that they didn't have the malicious intent to scam, they would give the money back. And honestly, despite my position right now, there's not an excuse whatsoever to relinquish the funds from people. So I taking action to give it back. GoFundMe should only be made at some critical conjuncture or point where people like desperately need it. And at a point, I'm in a much worse position than I am in now, but I'm not gonna ever have the audacity of having a GoFundMe again. Because I feel like the trust at that point, I'm not gonna plan to break it again, because even though I don't wanna break trust again, I'm just gonna leave the internet, of course, after all of this, but I am that should be the agreement of everyone here. It was a payment for that plane ticket.
Parlo,
it wasn't malicious.
You say you don't believe it's scamming. So if you don't believe it's scamming, there's a chance it still could be. So could you at the very least stop telling your mods to ban people if they say you're scamming? Because you
scamming,
keep saying fundamentals.
No. There's a fundamental difference. There's a fundamental difference. Scamming would infer that it was directly malicious. I mean, I had people trying to compare me to the Haley Welsh crypto pump and dump. That's not true at all.
Do you know what the definition of scamming is?
You do realize scamming has to be deliberately malicious. That's the number one point I'm trying to provide here.
It doesn't matter if it was malicious or not. The definition of scamming is to use to deceive people to gain money or possessions from someone, fraudulently swindle or defraud. You admitted that it's a scam.
It's not a scam. It's not done maliciously in order to extract funds or misappropriate them. It was misleading. If we want to do semanticals, because you're reading the scam definition, the meaning of scam is a fraudulent or deceptive act or operation. That, it's none of those.
What else do you want to talk about on the stage, Parlo?
Well, I'm being maligned as a f***ing pet. to hundreds of thousands of people right now, so I want to cover that.
You already did in the beginning of the stage.
I didn't, and it's not getting through to anyone. I'm getting an awful lot of people who are trying to nuke raid the server and call me over a GoFundMe, by the way, which I'm actively refunding. Why was I being outrightly claimed that my document had 100,000 views? My document had about 4,000. 4,040 likes.
Your document was being
4,000
spread.
views, 40 likes.
Your document was being spread by Tanuki. That's not the point that I'm trying to make here. Your document may have been spread by Tanuki. The whole situation got spread more by Wolfgang, not necessarily Tanuki.
Yes, so I was put in a position where I either don't respond, and Wolfgang, of course, comes out and this all me over irregardless, or I do respond and this shit would have happened. There was really no winning.
I feel if your document was structured a little bit differently and didn't mention the fact that you had a purple shoved up your...
It wasn't mine. That was something that he brought to me and pushed me to use. That was not mine. I do not have that. I did not own that. I did not want to do it, and I did not...
I feel like the document would have been just a tad bit better if that one segment was removed.
Yes, but the reason why it was brought up was to show a greater pattern on the fact that how I was pushed to do things that I didn't exactly want to do. I wouldn't need to bring it up, but it's to build up a pattern, a bigger story about what was happening. I had to go mask off, I had to get all the skeletons, and I had to just push it there for people to actually understand the full context.
And you thought it was appropriate to include all of this information to who? To people from your Discord server, to people on Twitter?
No, not my Discord server, and I didn't want it to become public. I got told last minute that I had to just push it out there to at least Himpleton, because his document was going to come out. He gets about thousands and thousands of views on YouTube. How am I meant to counter that? I didn't want to make it go onto YouTube. I certainly didn't want it to go into my Discord server. I wanted the least amount of people to know, but the most to the point where it wouldn't cause as much damage.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is not only did you want to make a document about all this, which you did end up making public, you also wanted to make the details from that document public on my YouTube channel.
No, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I made the document. No. The document at the very bottom of the page stated it would only ever become public if he went public first, because I had to defend myself. I had literally just stated 2 seconds ago on call right here that when you covered it on your channel, when I covered it on your channel, I was going to self-censor literally everything so you wouldn't get a strike. I would only include the that was like I could very subtly talk about, which wouldn't freak anyone the hell out. It was going to be done on my own volition, because I know the situation more than anyone. Why would I get someone else to talk about a situation that's really personal to me, and why would I then risk the channel getting mass reported and taken down if I was overtly... The document had trigger warnings in there, because I didn't want people who didn't want to see it to come across this vile... You think I'm not embarrassed from it all? There's a reason why I wanted it to become private, not just because it was embarrassing, but because it dealt a lot of stress for me.
Hold on. You keep on saying you wanted it private, but I mean, after you publicized it, I mean, I told you numerous times in the call that we had that this needs to be made private immediately.
There was no way that he was going to remain... there's no way I could communicate to him for him to go private, because he was going and waffling to all these channels. There's nothing I could have done at that point. When he went public, he completely thought, because he was being lied to. Commentary YouTubers went to him and said that I was planning to gear up and make it public. That turned out to be a lie, proven. But he was 100% under the idea that I was gearing up to make some big response. If I had just done no communication, he would assume that it was going to be a bigger document or a bigger video. There was literally nothing really I could have done, because he was being lied to and he was going out telling all these people. I would have loved for it to be sorted privately. And you know what? I would have loved to still get the shit that I had for the GoFundMe. I wasn't rich or had a stable income at the time that the GoFundMe was made.
I can't understand one thing. When exactly did Wolfgang get the impression that you were going public with all of this? Was it from you messaging people that you're going public with this? Because you've asked me on numerous occasions. It wasn't just the November 3rd screenshot where you asked me to go public or to make a video about it. No. Okay, every time I said time for a video,
you would only take that seriously when I tell you that I'm making the script and gathering the screenshots. This is me telling you to be prepared for whatever happens, because it was so unpredictable with him. This is me just not understanding how like financial decisions truly matter when you make a GoFundMe. I was at the point where I was like, I'm at a bad financial position, exacerbated by everything that's just happened. I need food for anemonies.
Parlo, can I be
I
honest?
didn't know, looking
Wait.
back on it all, that it could be this problematic.
So
You've had financial shit for years. Why is it still, to this day, not being resolved? Like,
What do you
can I
mean?
just ask that? Why don't you have a f***ing advisor? You
I don't
should
have
have
an
had an
advisor.
advisor years ago. As a big YouTuber. I don't know, frankly, how you don't. When is this excuse gonna stop?
It's not an excuse. I don't have one.
It is!
It's not a excuse, dipshit. I genuinely don't know how to get one, where to find one. I don't know where to start. I don't have one. It's not an excuse. It's a genuine thing.
I feel like for a channel with 600,000 subscribers and you were making a lot of money, you're probably making a lot from your videos. Like, what was your RPM on your videos? Because you're probably making a good amount.
Not that much. Really not that much.
Okay, but overall, you could have gotten that out of that situation.
How am I in the wrong? How the am I in the wrong for that?
Hello.
And now
Can you
you're just gonna make
listen?
fun of me
Because
for the
you
rest
refuse
of
to
time
talk
for
to
it.
anybody within the past couple days. The entire point of why I made the tweet, if you read the tweet, that you are claiming I harassed you on with a 12.6K follower account, and I've been harassing you and harassing you for months about this. No, I haven't actually. Actually, do you want to bring up
Months, you're
that
making that up.
conversation that we
Never
had?
said
No.
months.
Do you want to bring up that conversation we had 4 weeks ago? What did we all tell you? We told you to stop sticking your dick in things. That is what we said. The whole point is that Wolfgang's allegations have been known since at least 2024, Parlo. This is not new. None of this is new. Nobody is blaming you for getting, okay? I know how it's like being, I have been myself. It is terrible, and we know Wolfgang's a piece of shit. But the whole point of the shit I'm trying to bring up on Twitter is you deflect. You stretch it so bad that it loses the meaning. You stretch, you don't actually put full context. And there's a lot of people here who do that. You don't put full context. You just put Tanuki harassing me. And you want to know what people think when they think that? They think I'm like a degenerate like you. They think that I'm talking about gay in public. How many times have you got caught? Like, just fooling around. And when you do fool around, everybody has to hear about it. It's disgusting. But somehow I'm the problem. Me, the 12.6K person, is the problem. Do you know how many lies I've heard about me? You don't hear me talking about, oh, I got death threats. Okay, I got shit mailed to me. You've been caught making your life other people's problems. And you know what? I will come out on record and say this, that
Not fucking
honestly,
true.
no, honestly, I know exactly what you're going through, okay? I've
No,
been
you
through what
don't.
you've been through. We have talked about it in private. We've literally talked about it in private, and somehow you're painting out the narrative that I'm just naive. And I think it's really, really sad that instead of taking the advice of your friends, who we all know have supported you through thick and thin, you frame yourself as a safety advocate. Do you want to talk about why a lot of your shit isn't public? Do you want to talk about that? Because my full name is public, what I do is public, and I have to put it public because people make literal lies about me and you make no effort to remove them. In fact, you just go, oh, I corrected in private. In private, you'll be like, oh my God, Alex, I'm so sorry. But no, in public, they just keep spreading lies. So you do not get to talk about harassment when your entire platform has been built off circus peanut elephants. You take the stupidest person in the room, platform them, and you're like, oh, everybody, they're so stupid. Look at them. They're stupid. That's the point. We know they are stupid. I think it's shameful that everybody knows that you have a purple dildo. Who needed to know that?
That's not mine,
Everybody
you
was trying to
lying.
reach you. Everybody was
Holy
trying to
shit.
reach you.
No, okay,
and
first
you
of all,
still
you
did
bring
it.
up the Israel person. No. Someone mute her.
dare
She's
you.
been speaking for ages. Someone mute her ass
No,
right
I'm
now.
done.
Yeah,
That's all I
shut the
need
fuck
to
up.
say.
When someone brings up your literal history of doing disgusting apparently that's fine. Apparently no one can criticize you on that.
Why did you add, like, you made a 75-page doc? Dude,
Yeah.
you fucking made a 75-page doc!
It's
Okay,
about
hold on.
You never showed the dates!
Yeah, Jesus
Fucking
Christ.
Why is
out
he
here.
screaming?
What a
Okay,
Oh,
can I?
you are
Okay,
too.
okay,
Please stop
okay.
talking.
He didn't make an interesting point though. Why did you think about it? Like, why did you think it was a good idea? Why did you think it was a good idea to talk about your like purple?
That's
And like
not
post that.
mine. I don't know why you guys keep lying. None of you have actually read the document or why this was ever
I
brought up.
did.
I brought this up
5 times.
50 times before. It was literally brought up. The full context was brought up because I would be maligned as a liar if I didn't go over the full context of the situation, no matter how
No.
personal or private or gross it was. That wasn't mine. The thing which you keep bringing up, the Cinderella, it wasn't mine, but I was
So why
being
did
pushed
you put it in your
to
banner if you
use
didn't
it.
want people to know about it? Why did you put Cinderella? You're like, Alex is spreading my shit without her permission.
Well, because
You're not
here's
doing
the thing. If I go into specific detail about it, I'm not going to be called a liar or who's like maliciously like withheld evidence or shit like that. I was told to be as specific as possible, no
I was
matter
told, can
what.
you think for yourself? You're 20 years old. Can you not think for yourself? I'm
Can we
21,
just have a
right? It's
conversation
hard.
about how I'm bad with finances and I need someone to help me with it?
Do you wonder why you're bad with finances, Parlo? You've been bad for 4 years. It's because you don't see that the problem is you. Everybody is telling you. I've literally been through the exact same things you've experienced. And I'm telling you, you are the problem, but you can't listen because you're in defense mode. Literally nothing we say will get past you. Nothing I say because I'm just a stupid little will get past you. If you're so about accountability and moving forward, why don't you let other people move forward? Genuine question. What do you think
Why?
identifies you as this holy God that you can do no wrong? Because it comes out every single situation that you can never do wrong. It's always somebody else. When is it just you? Like, we told even as of 4 years ago, please leave the internet, please leave the internet, please leave the internet. And we're not saying this because we hate you. I've literally never reported your channel maliciously. And even when you do upload this video about me as a way to say, oh, she's
I'm not
fucking
gonna upload the video about you.
you would benefit from being off the internet. Like, generally, the happiest we saw you was when, and I hate to say this because I know how much joy your channel brings you, and I don't blame you given your circumstances, but the happiest we saw you is when your channel was literally like deleted for that like certain amount of time or something's going on with it. I'm not sure the full details. And you were just so much better. It's just you have this hive mind of people that won't correct you. And unfortunately, I've been through what you've been through.
I'm sorry, there's
I'm
no
very
hive
aware
mind
that
right
you have
now. It's hive
BPD.
mind of like, well, I don't even know what the
No,
this
I'm
is
very
right
aware
now.
you have BPD because we've talked about it in private. We both go through the same shit. The only way I learned is by taking accountability. Why don't just you? Why don't you actually come out and say that you deceived these kids and that's basically scamming? Why does it take all this just to get you to elicit a response? And even when you did elicit a response, you said it was partial. How is that partial? How is hiding that you have $2K? I would love $2K in my bank account right now. Are you kidding? That's a large amount of money. And you always claim that it's because you're naive or because you just didn't know. Like at some point, it stopped being did you know? And sometimes, as blatant as this sounds, you just need to grow up. You just need to literally suck it up, look at these adult things, and stop blaming everybody else.
It wasn't malicious scamming, but by the definition, if it's deception, which it was, because it didn't go over my full financial history, it's indirect scamming. And that's f***ed up, and that's bad, and I don't defend it.
At least you finally admit that. Thank you.
I'm just gonna make one video. It's gonna be like very well structured. It's gonna be like the most transparent video I've done, and then probably just gonna leave. If I make a video honestly going over everything in literally the most transparent way possible, that there's not a single thing that's wrong with that video, that it's like, okay, I did this, did that, it was indirect scamming, but it was completely f***ed up. The funds didn't go to this, however, that doesn't detract away from the fact that I cannot be trusted with finances. I go over how this f***ed with everyone, and everyone has every reason to not trust me anymore. They have every reason to not associate with me anymore, that I wouldn't associate with myself, and that I was so degenerate in what I did because I was so desperate for a relationship and shit like that. And I pushed that video out. The video isn't monetized. Full comments are on, so like literally anyone can say whatever they want. And then I just donate like £1,000 literally to all these charities that I have in mind, and I just leave and I never come back again. What would that be?
That doesn't sound bad to me.
Therapy is not going to help a situation like this. I just want the ability to, after this video comes out, people can choose to hate me or forgive me, whatever. I don't really care. I just want to leave and The rest I'll do on my own volition. No baiting or anything like that. If I don't quit for good, I won't be back unless there's like a very select few things that happen. That is, if I gain the trust of anyone back after like 6 months. I don't know. I might like, who knows what I'll do. I genuinely don't know what the I'll do. I'm not gonna delete the channel.
The server, will it get deleted? Will it be archived?
No, don't delete the server. Keep the server.
No. Someone was asking that. What will happen with the server? Will it stay up? Will it get archived?
Server will stay up. What I don't understand is the idea that there's no space to be redeemed from this. That doesn't make sense. I don't understand why this is being spun in such a malicious fashion that this is like a genuine unredeemable thing. I don't ask them to give me a second chance right now. I only ask them to see what I'm gonna do. But I don't mind the Cinderella because it's kind of funny. But
You didn't even name it that. No.
I didn't even name it that. It was Wolfgang. He was like, I was like, what the f is that? And he's like, it's the Cinderella. And I'm like, okay, okay. All right, and I'm being accused of having that as my thing. That's not my thing.
Thank y'all for watching this video, man. Join the Discord link in the description. Subscribe right now. Hit the bell with the notifications. This is the realest channel you'll find, bruh. Real talk. I'm about to be a lot more consistent, man. And with all that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.